Good morning, folks. We're going to have some fun today, and we're starting with the plasma filaments twisted up into solar tornadoes here. We've got news all around, but we'll start with our star at spaceweathernews.com. We find the last day still a domination by coronal holes. We're still awaiting the stream from the trailing portion, but the northern portion hit 2 days ago and is waning back now. You can see here in the solar wind the full event from ambient quiet on the left to the rise in intensity, and on the right the beginning of the descent. This has brought geomagnetic conditions back into quiet range as we await the next one. Let's go to the Gulf, where that system we identified yesterday slowed just a bit and is taking on the Gulf states just in the last few hours here. This is the run-up into Louisiana after midnight. Hopefully things aren't too bad right there in the middle of it. Meanwhile, we have less worry about the cyclone in the northwest Indian Ocean. This tight monster lost his compass and has absolutely no clue where it's going. I know it looks like it's moving north, but that shifts in 5 or 6 days to a return southward. Meanwhile, weeks after the typhoon directly struck Japan, the situation hasn't changed. The rain has been incessant, and landslides are taking over the local concerns with at least 10 dead, many more missing. Our first paper today is a good look at geomagnetic storm effects relevant to climate forcing. This paper examines the energetic injection of the storm directly into the ionosphere, which, as we'll recall, integrates into the global electric circuit for immediate effects on cloud nuclei, pressure, wind speed, and more. 3 FYIs up next, tangentially related to the climate topic. First, count fish alongside chlorophyll, krill, and phytoplankton as being way more resilient than we imagined. I remember distinctly back when the climate model suggested they'd all die with the slightest changes. Nope. Up next, once again, after years of hearing how global warming was such a challenge in the past extinction events, we find another example of harsh winter conditions taking out a civilization. This one lived near the equator. We also have a Google Doc PDF release, but it matters because whether it's streams, peat bogs, oceans, lakes, etc., they keep finding that chemistry is clouding the attribution picture for atmospheric carbon. Up next, a terrific story we're going to strip of its conclusions. They have found yet more evidence of the platinum isotopes that impactor theorists used to explain the extinction event 12 to 13,000 years ago. Well, there almost certainly was an impactor scenario, but it wasn't just rock. The isotopes suggest a cosmic ray element to the disaster, and of course, an impactor doesn't explain the magnetic excursion of Gothenburg at the same time, or the physical evidence and ancestral stories blaming the sun as the destroyer. However, if there is a micronova, the cosmic rays will come. Shell impactors will pelt the solar system. The broad electric field has been shown to reverse magnetization of an entire body time and time again in the lab, and there is actually a physical mechanism that allows it to repeat. Now, we'll come back to that in a moment, but first, let's go to the cosmos in radio. Seeing things in radio waves always changes the game. It's not like gamma rays or infrared or visible light, in that it will pick up the slightest magnetic acceleration of electrons. We see not only fine details of events, but massive structure, in this case linking a bridge between two before believed to be isolated galaxy clusters. And in the latest update, we further this concept with the discovery that the massive radio structures at the horizon of technological viewing in the deep heavens, back to the early universe, are way, way bigger than expected. It is as though they drape over the entire cosmos at those vast distances, and what the article fails to do is tie this discovery back in with the others, like how these large structures violate Big Bang timelines with their size at such a young age, and that they complement a cosmic-scale magnetic and electric field scenario in primordial times that sculpted the cosmic web and continues feeding galaxies through it to this day. It's all the plasma universe puzzle. And now, back to the galactic instigator at the solar system. This is all about galactic dust and the hypothesis that cyclical dusty encounters can trigger recurrent micronova. This new paper has revealed that there are density waves in alternating layers. It is a large-scale structure with periodic variation at high galactic latitude, matching what they have found in the central plane of the galaxy. Now, this is important because the large-scale structure of the magnetic and electric fields of the galaxies likely mirror a solar system like ours, and we know 3 important things. First, that such large-scale structure will leave a rippling current sheet through the center of the galaxy, which will contain extra dust, gases, ions, and the galactic magnetic field reversal. Second, we've seen the sun's version of this sheet cause magnetic disturbances, even geomagnetic storms on Earth, without the extra dust, just the ions and the solar wind magnetic field reversal. Third, recurrent nova in the heavens are known to be the result of coronal pollution by dust and gases, too much blocking the vent, and it goes boom. Folks, we know the galaxy structure is like that. We know the dust ripples and has those waves as well. We know what sort of energy they have to affect the Earth when it's the sun's version, and that this is how recurrent nova are known to occur. It's a tough recipe, but at least it will be predictable and repeat on a cycle just like the sun's sheet hits Earth regularly. This is the key to the cosmic disaster. Now that cosmic disaster, plasma cosmology, climate change, all three key topics today are covered in short films linked below the video, at our channel page as well, and at suspiciousobservers.org. Check them out and you'll catch up on years of research in less than one day. We greatly appreciate your support. We've got wind map forecasts and shots of our star to close, and we'll do this all again tomorrow, right here. But right now it's 5:30 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.